Hey guys, good morning. Hector here, Corpus Christi. Today going to be talking about episode 20. We're going to be talking about high reps versus low reps. This is something that I think many people get confused on, and there's a lot of misconceptions, and I think just in the whole fitness realm there's a lot of confusion when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to training, when it comes to flexibility, when it comes to just many things. And so one of the things I want to address today is high reps versus low reps. So you'll hear a lot of, I was told that I should do, lightweight, high reps to get toned muscles, to lose body fat, to get toned, that I need to do a lot of repetitions with a really light weight to lose body fat. And then you hear on the other side, no, you don't need to do lightweight, you need to do heavyweight with low repetitions. And so there's a lot of back and forth on what it is that you need to do. And essentially, both sides, both arguments are essentially correct. And here's what I mean. So, at the end of the day, the thing that you really need to focus on, if health is not an issue, if symmetry, if flexibility, if none of those are an issue, your priority should always be getting stronger, not getting more condition, not doing more cardio, not doing, not increasing your flexibility. What you need to focus on is getting stronger. Okay, now it doesn't mean getting stronger only, it just means your first priority should be getting stronger. So when it comes to high reps versus low reps, both sides are correct. You want to do more repetitions, right, but not necessarily with the lighter weight. And on the strength side, you want to focus on, you don't necessarily have to focus on low repetitions as far as singles and doubles. I'm not sure, low reps is subjective. Well, what does that mean? Low reps, does that mean one rep? Does that mean 2 reps? Does that mean 5? What is low repetitions? So for strength, right, priority should always be for strength. You want to keep your reps generally no more than 5 repetitions. Okay, no more than 5 repetitions is strength building. Anything higher than 5 repetitions is bodybuilding. You're focusing on something else. Now, there's nothing wrong with bodybuilding, okay? It just depends on what your goals are. So on the gaining muscle side, so the hypertrophy side, if you're trying to gain lean muscle, yes, you need to do higher reps, but not necessarily higher reps in each set. You still want to keep your repetitions between 3 to 5 reps, okay? Even if you're trying to build muscle, you still want to keep your reps between 3 to 5 total reps, but you're just going to do more sets. You're going to increase your volume. So in order to get stronger, you need to increase your volume. In order to gain lean muscle, which leads to body fat loss, you need to increase your volume. So you still need to increase your volume on both sides. So when I say volume is reps and sets, okay? But you want to keep your reps, like I mentioned, to 3 to 5 total repetitions. And then you just want to do more of those sets of those repetitions. So for instance, to get stronger, okay, experience and research have concluded that strength is built in the 75 to 80% intensity zones. So what does that mean, 75 to 80% intensity zones? Let's say you take a pair of kettlebells, and let's say you take a pair of kettlebells, and let's say a pair of 32 bells. Okay, strong guy takes a pair of 32 kettlebells, and he can do 10 front squats. Okay, so basically, that is his 10 rep max, his 10 RM. Okay, so in his training, you're not going to do sets of 10 because that's your max. You want to train at a sub-maximal intensity. So you're going to use the same kettlebells, pair of 32s, but you're going to do half of the repetitions. You're going to do 3 to 5 total repetitions. You're going to do 3 to 5 total repetitions, but for multiple sets. Okay. Another way you can change that up is, let's say Let's say you do a pair of 32s. Let's say you can't do 10 reps, okay, gentlemen. Let's say you clean a pair of bells and you can only do the front squat one time with the pair of 32s. So now this is your 1 rep max, okay? So you're not going to train with those 32s. The 32 is your 1 rep max, but what you're going to now do is you're going to go down to a pair of 24 kilo bells, which is roughly 75%. Okay, like I mentioned, strength is built to the 75 to 80%. So if 20 pair of 24s is perfectly 75% of your maximum ability. So what you're going to do now is you're going to do 3 to 5 repetitions with the pair of 24s, and you're just going to go. You're going to enjoy yourself, and you're going to go, and you're going to do as many sets as you can. Let's say you set a timer for 20 minutes, and you're going to do as many sets of front squats, 3 to 5 repetitions that you can, cleanly, enjoy yourself, and you want to give yourself plenty of rest in between because you want to focus on strength. So rest periods will be, let's say, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. But, you know, everybody's different, so you don't have to stick to that 2 to 5 minutes. I generally like to tell people, go when you're ready. Okay, when you feel like you're ready to go, do another set. So that's focusing on strength. So just to recap on the strength side, if you're trying to get stronger, which strength should be your number 1 priority, let's say, as an example, you took a pair of 32 kilo bells and you're able to do 10 repetitions. That was it. So you would train with those same 32s, but you would decrease your reps to 3 to 5 repetitions. Okay, you're going to do half of the effort. Okay, and you would just do multiple sets of that, and you're going to get really strong. Well, let's say the same pair of 32s, you can only do 1. Now that you're 1 rep max, not your 10 rep max, you're going to take that, and you're not going to train with the 32s because it's your max. You're going to drop down to a pair of 24s, which is 75%. Okay, of your effort, like a 7.5 out of 10 difficulty essentially. And you're going to do multiple sets of 3 to 5 repetitions with a pair of 24s, set a timer for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then just go. Do as many sets as you can. And then each training session, you can increase the density. Density is getting more work done in the same time period, or the same work done in less time. Okay, so you're kind of creating density by getting more repetitions done. So let's say on Monday you take that pair of 24s and you do, like in 20 minutes, you do 10 sets of 5. Well, on Wednesday, get that pair of 24s out, and now you're going to try to increase your volume in the same 20-minute period. You're going to try to do 12, 11, 12, just more reps. You're going to get a lot stronger that way. And you're going to get a lot leaner because now, you believe it or not, you're creating a conditioning, you're adding like a conditioning factor to that. So your heart rate's going to be jacked up and you're going to see some fat loss. So now, getting lean muscle. Okay, we want to, let's say my goal is to build muscle. We still would need to focus on strength because strength is still a priority over gaining muscle, because in order to gain muscle, you got to be stronger. Okay, so the stronger that you are, the more weight you can lift. The more weight you can lift and stay under tension longer, the more muscle that you're going to gain. That makes sense? So let's say your goal is hypertrophy. You're trying to put on lean muscle so that you can burn body fat. What you're going to do now is you're going to hypertrophy or muscle gain is built in the 60% zone, the 60% zone of intensity. So in order to put on muscle, you got to build your volume around 60%. In order to build absolute strength to get really strong, you have to build your volume in the 75 to 80% zones of intensity. Okay? To build muscle, you got to build your volume at 60%. So let's say we took the previous example and a gentleman was able to, front squat a pair of 32s 1 time. So his goal is not necessarily, he doesn't want to build maximum strength, but strength is still a priority. What he's going to do now is he's going to drop down to a pair of 20 kilogram bells. So if your goal is hypertrophy, you've got to build your volume around 60% of your effort. So if the rep max was 32 kilos, your training is going to be with a pair of 20s, because that's 60% of 32 kilograms. And you're going to build your volume, more reps, more sets in that 60% zone. But you still want to keep your repetitions to 3 to 5 reps per set. So again, let's say you set your timer for 25 minutes. You're going to try to do as many sets of 3 to 5, depending on what you feel comfortable with, as many sets of 3 to 5 as possible in that 20 minutes. So now you're building a lot of volume at 60%. This is going to help you to put on more lean mass. Okay, so muscle's built in 60%. Strength, absolute strength, is built in 75 to 80% zones. Okay, so just if you wanted to spice it up a little bit on building muscle, so the more time you can spend under tension, which is basically the longer that you can keep holding on to the weight, okay, that's more time under tension. That's where you're also going to build a lot of muscle too, which is why doing things like kettlebell complexes are great for building mass, because you're under tension, you're holding on to the load a lot longer. So let's say it's just one exercise, you're not doing a complex, like the front squat. Just take your time. Come down, front squat, come up, hold it for 2 to 3 seconds, back down, front squat it up, hold it for 2 to 3 seconds. So you're looking at like a set of 5 can take you anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds, which is a lot of time under tension just for one exercise. And then you're building your volume on top of that in that zone. And then if you're eating enough, so if your goal is to put on muscle, you're going to have to make sure that you're getting in the calories and that you're eating. So putting on muscle is a pretty challenging thing to do, because you got to make sure that you're eating enough of the right foods. So hopefully that kind of gives you guys, a better understanding of reps, of high reps versus low reps. Just to kind of recap, many people think they got to do a lot of repetitions with the light weight, and then you have the other side. It's like, no, you don't need to do a lot of repetitions with light weight. You got to do, low reps, okay, with heavy weight. Well, both sides are correct to a certain extent. The right side, where you don't want to use light weight because you got to focus on getting stronger. You use a medium-sized pair of bells. Like, let's say, again, medium-sized pair of bells, a guy that had a front squat of a 32 kilogram max, his bells are going to be 20s. Okay, that's a medium-sized weight. And he's just going to build a lot of volume, but keeping the repetitions between 3 to 5 reps. And then you just do as many sets as you can. Just enjoy yourself. On the muscle building side, you'll want to keep your rest periods a little bit shorter compared to pure strength building, because again, you're trying to keep that time under tension. You're trying to keep your heart rate really high. That way you can start burning through calories. Compared to the strength side, when you're trying to build absolute strength. So let's say a pair of 32s was the max. You're now going to train with like a pair of 24s, maybe even a pair of 28s. But you're going to be doing sets of like 2 to 3, maybe 5. 2 to 3, maybe 5. And you'll do as many sets as you can, but you're going to keep your rest periods a lot longer. So you can rest 2 to 5 minutes. But I generally like to tell people, again, when you feel like you're ready, go again. That's what strength training is all about. When you feel like you're ready, go again. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Figure out what your goal is, what you're trying to do. Are you trying to increase your rep max with a pair of 32s? Or ladies, if you're trying to increase your rep max with a pair of 20s, then you need to focus on training in the 75% zone. And you got to do lower repetitions, but you still got to build your volume. So to get stronger, you got to build volume. But let's say your goal is I'm not trying to increase my rep max. I just want to get a good workout. I still want to, get conditioned and put on lean muscle. Okay, so we're not going to train with a 75% max bell. We're going to train with like a 60% max bell, because building your volume in the 60% zone is where we put on lean mass. And then if you keep holding the bells longer, taking your time between repetitions, you're going to be under tension longer, and that's going to lead to more muscle gain. So again, it just kind of depends on what your goals are. Both sides are right. Yes, you want to do high repetitions, but you don't want to use a lighter weight. So you got to combine them together, build your volume with medium weights to even heavier weights, find out which zone that is that you're going to be working in, build your volume according to your goals, and then that's all it is. Again, keep your journal. You got to write down how many sets are you doing. That way you can know how many sets you did from the previous day. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you're enjoying these videos, please share this. Please like my page. I think on the bottom right, there's a notification to be alerted when I go live again. So that's what we covered today. High reps versus low reps. Both are correct. Depends on your goals. Have a great day, guys. Bye.